Hi, this is Scott with eTrailer. Today we're taking a look at and installing our Blue Ox Class 3 hitch on our 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee. A couple of things I really like about this hitch on our Jeep Grand Cherokee is the way that when I'm not using it, I can hide it behind its factory panel and you can't even tell that there's a hitch there. Another nice thing about this one, it has a really high weight number, so it's going to accommodate a bike rack full of your heavy bikes or your cargo carrier loaded down with all of your extra gear. So it's a really good option for that. It's beefy, it's got a really nice heavy duty coating on it, so it's going to hold up long term and not get a bunch of scratches or corrosion, so that's a really nice thing. And as you can see, it's really simple to hide. When you're done towing or you're done with your bike racks, all you have to do is just pop on your cover. Really easy to do, just pop that on and turn your thumb nuts down here and you don't even notice a hitch is there. This hitch is going to have a 5/8 pinhole opening that's going to hold in any of your accessories that you have in the back. Now this hitch won't come with a pinning clip, so you may want to pick one up, but keep in mind a lot of your accessories are going to have either a pinning clip with it, or a lot of your bike racks on the market now are going to have an anti-rattle pin that comes with it, so that's always something to check out. This hitch is going to have heavy duty welded on chain loops. It's going to accept either your S style hooks or your clevis style, so either one of those are going to work for your trailer towing needs. Now, as far as measurements go for our hitch, from the center of our pinhole out to the edge of our bumper, we're looking at right around 3 inches. And with that measurement, you'll be able to decide on if any of your accessories that fold up or stow away will make any contact with the back of your Jeep. Now, as far as our measurement from the inside top of our receiver to the ground, we're looking at right at about 22 3/4 inches. Now that's quite a bit of clearance, so you really won't have to worry about adding any rise to the shank of your bike racks or your cargo carriers. And with that measurement, that one will also help you figure out what you need as far as rise or drop for your ball mount. As far as weights go for this hitch, it has some really high numbers. We're looking at a tongue weight rating of 1,125 pounds. That's going to be the weight of your bike rack loaded down with your heavy e-bikes or your cargo carrier loaded down with all of your gear. Now for a gross trailer weight rating, we're looking at 7,500 pounds. That's going to be the weight of your trailer and everything that you have on that. Now with weight distribution, those numbers stay the same. But it's always a good idea to take a look in your owner's manual and make sure you don't exceed any of your maximum towing capabilities listed in there. Now, if you ever plan on doing any towing with your Jeep or you have lighted accessories that you plan on getting for it, one of the things I'll recommend while you're doing your hitch, it's always a good idea to go ahead and do your wiring while you're in there. You are going to have your rear fascia off, so you might as well get that done if you ever plan on towing. Now, if you have any questions or comments about this setup for your Jeep Grand Cherokee, you can always get a hold of one of our experts here at eTrailer, or you can leave a question or comment down below in the comment section. Now, as far as installation goes, this one can be a little bit tricky. You will have to remove your rear fascia, but it's something you could definitely do yourself. If you don't have the time or the tools to do it, you can always take a look at our dealer locator and get something done for you locally. If it's something you feel like tackling yourself, stick around, watch our video, and we'll help you get it installed. To start our installation, we're going to have 4 10mm screws here on the back of our Jeep. Now, one thing I like to do as well is just get our little access panel off. We'll just pull that out and set that aside. Now, anything we do on one side of our vehicle, we're going to do on the other side from this point forward. So right here behind our fender well, we're going to have 4 8mm screws that we're going to need to pull out. With those out, we're going to need to get this trim pulled back. So what I want to do is just apply pressure, pulling out. And if you feel behind here, you're going to feel some little rounded like clips. And what we want to do is just, I'll show you what we got. We're going to have little tabs on those. We're going to have these white clips. These green clips are basically held in with pressure. These white ones, you can actually squeeze these little tabs in from behind and you can squeeze those and it'll help pop those out. So I'm just going to continue working my way up until we get past this seam. It's going to come to a point where you're going to have another gray clip way back in here, and it's a different clip than what we have. Sometimes if you get behind that with a tool, you can get that to pop out. And it's way back in there. It's kind of hard to see, but you may need to get behind that with a trim panel tool. And just get that to pop out. Now we can move that back far enough, and I'll stick a piece of rag behind here so I can get at this 10mm screw. So I like to use either a ratcheting wrench or a small ratchet, a 10mm, to get this broke loose. Most of the time after you get it broke loose, you can usually get that backed out with your fingers. They're in there pretty loose. And it can be a little bit of a long bolt, but just keep working at it and you'll get that pulled out. Now we have our hatch open and we're going to have this little plastic round cover, and behind this we're going to have a 10mm screw we need to get to. So I'm just going to use a plastic trim tool, and I'm going to get behind that little cover. And just pop that out. Now I'll use a 10mm socket and get that removed. Up here behind our tail light, we're going to have this little plastic cover. We're going to need to get this popped out. These usually come out fairly easy. Just want to get your fingers behind the seal and just pop back. Pull that out, and as you can see, it's just going to pop in place. Now behind there, we're going to have a T30 screw. Back that out. Now we can carefully pop out our light. Pull out to one side. These are just held in with little pop clips. Once you get those out, you can see that's how those are held in. They just kind of hold in with pressure. Now we'll flip our light over, and underneath we're going to have our connector. Just pull the red tab back. After you've done that, you can push in on the black clip. Unplug that. Now we can set our assembly aside. Before we can pull our fascia off, we want to go ahead and undo our electrical connection. We're going to have this on each side. It's the same type of plug. On the end of it, you're going to see a little white tab. We just want to pull back on that little white tab, and that's going to unlock it. Once we've done that, push down on the white tab, pull back, and we can disconnect it. On each side of our vehicle, we're going to go ahead and start getting our fascia popped loose. And behind our trim, just want to start working your way across. Now, it's a good idea to have an extra set of hands when you're doing this. We're just going to work our way down. And across the back here, it can be a little tricky to pop these loose. All right, once you get that popped loose, I do recommend with these, as you can see, these just pressure clip in. And what I like to do is just try and spray down in the back with some soapy water. That'll help kind of loosen them up a little bit. But now that we have it off, we'll just set it off to the side. On each side underneath of our Jeep, we're gonna have this exhaust hanger. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna get this removed because it bolts up in through our factory bumper. So all we're gonna do is take a 13mm socket on each side and we'll get this removed. Now we don't need to support our exhaust because it is supported in front of this, so we don't have anything to worry about there. With our exhaust mount out of the way, we're gonna have 3 21mm bolts on each side. We're gonna have 1 underneath and 2 on the sides. So need to get those removed. Now I recommend once you get down to your last bolt that you hold it in place because this can fall out on you. So just make sure you're holding that up. And after we have them all out, we can pull our bumper beam out and set it aside. Now we'll just get our hitch lifted into position and slide it into our frame channels. We're going to go all the way back with our hole lining up right there. Now you do have fish wires in your kit, but what I'm going to do is just go ahead and reach into the frame channel with my hand, and I can drop my carriage bolt into place like that. Now we'll come back with a washer and a nut, and we'll just bring that up finger tight. Now I'll follow that same procedure with our same hardware, and we're just going to pop them through the side holes. Now in our kit, we're going to have a silver colored carriage bolt. We want to get that to go in through the hole that goes down for our exhaust. And when you do that, just swing your exhaust hanger up, get that lined up. Go ahead and get your bolt down through. Now in your kit, we're also going to have a flange nut. What I recommend doing with that is just take a 13mm socket and set that on your socket. Hold down on your carriage bolt. And then just start it that way with a deep well socket. It makes it a whole lot easier because the nut is inset up in the mount. We'll come back through now with a 19mm socket and start snugging down our hardware. I'm going to start with the nut that's underneath. That's going to help draw our hitch into position. Now we'll snug down our hardware on the side. With those all snugged down, we'll snug down our exhaust hardware. Now we'll come back through and torque down all of our hardware to the specifications listed in our instruction manual. If you don't have a torque wrench, you can pick one up here at eTrailer, or you can take a look at your local auto parts store. You should be able to rent one there. Your hitch will come with a bracket. Now's a good time to get that installed if you want to mount up some type of a mount for your wiring, but on ours it is going to interfere with our cover, so we're not going to go ahead and install that today. With our hardware all torqued down, now all we have to do is get our fascia put back on in the reverse order that we took it off. And that was a look at our Blue Ox Class 3 hitch on our 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I'm Scott with eTrailer, and thanks for watching.